Charles Barkley, Hall of Famer, inside the NBA on ESPN. Are you an ESPN employee? Do you get invited to the Christmas party?
I don't know. I didn't know they had a Christmas party.
Yeah, it's a big one. Now, I don't know. You have to go to Bristol, Connecticut, open bar. I mean, it's a big deal.
Well, I was talking to Matt Barry and Michael Eaves. I've actually never been to the ESPN studio. I wanted to do that before our relationship started, and I just got busy playing golf every day this summer. But it looks amazing on television, the campus. So, but no, I haven't got invited to the Christmas party, but I do want to go see. I talked to Matt Barry and Michael Eaves and my girl Elle Duncan. At some point, I want to get to see that studio on an off day. Not that I want to work or anything. I just want to go see it.
Okay, how is your schedule? If you go there, they're going to put you to work.
Well, that's why I'm going to go during the summer where I can there's nothing going on except football every day. I'm going to make sure there's no basketball or anything going on.
It doesn't matter. If you go in that building, you're going to be on ESPN News or 2 or NFL Live or, radio.
I'm brushing up on my Spanish so I can do this 4 days. I got to get ready for the Super Bowl.
You guys haven't missed a step, though. Seems like, gang's all back together. And now, has your approach to the NBA changed at all since you're now on ESPN?
No, it's been great. The guys at ESPN, Dan, I said this, and I wasn't kissing anybody's ass. I ain't going to kiss nobody's ass. That's the best thing about having money. I don't have to listen to anybody. It's an honor and a privilege to work for ESPN because every kid grew up wanting to be on ESPN. They did. Like every kid who's ever touched any type of ball, if they're being honest, if you go on ESPN, you feel like you've made it. So it's an honor to work for them. And we've only did 3 shows, and they've been great. They left us alone. The only thing that sucked about it is in game 1 on NBC, we had a great double overtime game, which was awesome. Then the next night, we had Wemby go crazy. We had Steph go crazy for us. And we didn't even get to talk about that because of this gambling BS. And that was the only downer. But other than that, it's been fantastic.
Now, I know you guys talked a little bit about it, but what bothers you the most about this investigation, whether it's the poker games or prop bets or, did anything stand out that would alarm you a little bit more being a former player, now an analyst?
Well, it all alarms me first and foremost. Number one, if you're rigging poker games, especially some of the guys are your friends, that's a bad thing. But obviously, when players are out here point shaving, basically what it is, you can come up with prop bets or gamble or that. Listen, man, if you're out here shaving points, that's just bad. We've all been so blessed to we make more money in 1 month than most people are going to make their entire lifetime. And all you got to do is play basketball. We're the luckiest people in the world. I say this about sports, man. I love sports, but we are so lucky and blessed. We get to do something so stupid, and we make more money. Think about it, Dan. Most of us get paid. Well, back then, you get paid twice a month, and you make more money during that period than most people are gonna make in their lifetime. The money these guys are making today. And to do something, hopefully, like I say, I'm hoping all these allegations are not true. But if you did something this stupid, it's just stupid, plain and simple.
Do you get in these poker games that are held outside of a casino?
I'm not a poker guy. First of all, I would never gamble at somebody's house. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Unless it's your house. Charles froze up there. Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah. Now, you froze up again.
Yeah. I don't believe in gambling at people's houses, and I don't go to casino. I gamble a lot, but I don't play poker. But no, I don't go to people's house and gamble, Dan, and nobody's coming to my house to gamble either.
Talking to Charles Barkley, NBA on ESPN. I almost said TNT.
Yeah, it's been weird. Ernie screwed. I wouldn't say screwed. He said he only did it one time.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen, but he only did it one time in 3 shows, so it's been pretty good.
If Austin Reaves was let's say that Luka and LeBron weren't on the Lakers, and it was Austin Reaves' team, are these numbers sustainable for a player like that?
Impossible, because he could get.
Yep. Froze up again. When I last spoke to you, I asked if Austin Reaves, could he be the number one guy? Could he put up these numbers on a team?
No, because they're going to make adjustments.
He froze up again.
That's crazy, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah. Okay. You're good now.
Yeah, teams are going to start making adjustments. So his 40 going to come down to 25 or more, because I don't think he's that type of guy who's going to get 40 a night. But right now he's got like the triple yellow caution light, can shoot anytime he wants to. But as teams adjust, they're going to make adjustments on him. He's a really good player. But also, to go out there and get 40 a night is really hard. I mean, well, because nobody's ever done it. I mean, nobody's ever averaged 40 points in the NBA other than probably Wilt Chamberlain back in the day. But teams are going to make adjustments and make him pass the ball more, which he's comfortable with. But he's a heck of a player.
Is there any basketball player's future you would trade for Victor Wembanyama's future?
Well, the only question about Victor is health. There's never been a question about him playing. It's just, can he stay healthy? These guys who have these very unique bodies. I mean, and he probably got the most unique body we've ever seen in the NBA other than Shaquille. Like Shaquille, me and Kevin McHale talk about it. When the first time we saw Shaquille O'Neal, we couldn't believe how big and athletic he was. He's probably, and I met Wilt, but I never got to see him play. But Shaquille had the most unique body I've ever seen in the NBA because how big and strong and fast he was. But Victor's different because you look at Manute Bol, George Morrison, Mark Eden, guys who are like 7'3", 7'4", they didn't have this type of athletic ability. They couldn't shoot threes and dribble and things like that. So he's probably the most unique player we've had in the NBA, and we never had anything like him.
If Ralph Sampson was playing today, Ralph Sampson could be maybe a Wembanyama kind of player.
Yeah, but Ralph never had the dribbling skills.
Well, they didn't let him. Now they're saying to a big guy, we want you to handle the ball, shoot the threes.
Yeah. First of all, I forgot to.
Todd, why don't we see if we get Charles just on the phone here? Because I don't froze. No, there you are again.
Yeah.
Let me try it one more time, and then if not, we'll try another day.
Okay. So, if Ralph Sampson played in the NBA today, would he be comparable to Victor? Only if he was able to dribble and shoot threes like Victor does. But Victor is the most unique player we've had in the NBA since Shaquille.
Can you see where Steph Curry would be the second option on the Warriors a couple of years from now, that would extend his career, but he might not be the number one guy?
Well, they would have to bring in a big-time free agent. I think right now they're stuck with the team they have. The only question is Victor Kuminga. Is that his name, Victor Kuminga?
Jonathan Kuminga.
Jonathan Kuminga, excuse me. So he's the wild card because we've seen how far that team can go with Draymond and Jimmy Butler. They're a first-round team. The only question is, can Jonathan Kuminga take the next step? Because in the West, you're going to have to beat OKC. You're going to have to beat Houston. You're going to have to beat the Joker. So can he grow enough to get them past the second round of the playoffs? That's the only question with the Warriors. Because Steph is he's on the downside of his career. You can't expect him to play like he did that game last week in June. I mean, that's just physically impossible because everybody's fresh right now, Dan. Everybody's fresh, but you can't expect a 37-year-old to go to November, December, January, averaging 35 points a game. That's just not going to happen.
Mike,
And get through 3 or 4 rounds in the playoffs.
Michael Jordan, in his interview with Mike Tirico, was talking about load management. Back in the day, you guys took great pride in playing every single game. How do you think today's player will react to what Michael Jordan said about load management?
Well, first of all, we don't care what they think. Dan, me and you have discussed load management on this show for years. It sucks, load management. These guys can play basketball 2 days in a row. We played basketball 2 days in a row. They got better equipment. They got better equipment. They got better medicals. They got cold plunges. They got hyperbaric chambers. They got private planes now. If we can play back-to-back games in Chuck Taylors and things like that and fly commercial. I flew commercial my first 4 years in the NBA. We didn't have ice plunge. We had ice bags. We didn't have hyperbaric chambers. So if we can do that for $2 million a year, they damn sure can do it for $40 million a year. And Dan, we've said it before. It's interesting how it took up a life of its own because it was Michael Jordan. You asked me last time, I can't remember. I love doing your show. First of all, I must love doing your damn show. You make me get up at damn 6 o'clock in the morning. I want to kick you in Todd's ass. I just want you to know that. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. But you asked me what was a bigger problem in the NBA. All the threes are load management. And I said to you quite easily, it's load management. It says when Michael says it, it's like just turned into a wildfire. It's been a problem for years. And let me tell you something, Dan, it's going to really be a problem going forward because we got guys making $70 million a year. God bless them. That's just on them. But when we start having guys making 80, 90, $100 million a year, and they says, yeah, I played last night. I can't play tomorrow. We can't just keep crapping on the fans saying that. That's just disrespectful. Number one, it's disrespectful to the game, but it's really disrespectful to the fan base. If I saved up all my money, as expensive as tickets are, some of these stars only going to come to East Coast, West Coast one time a year,
Yeah.
and you're making $90 million and you can't play basketball 2 days in a row, that's 100% wrong.
I agree with you. I said the same thing. My reaction to Jordan was, this is obvious. Of course, he's going to be against load management, and it makes his reputation, stand even taller because he didn't take games off. He tried to play in every single game. So there wasn't any news in this. And you're right. If Mike says it, all of a sudden load management's a topic again. And I'm like, these guys today don't care. They don't care what Michael Jordan says about, I'm going to play every game now because Mike said so.
Well, and the thing that bothers me, I wish they would tell the truth. Instead of just saying, you hear people saying, well, it's not healthy or things like that. Just say, I want it. And listen, this is a fair thing on their point. If I'm able to play basketball 2 or 3 more years, I'm probably going to make an extra $50 to $100 million. I mean, depending on who you are, even if you're, if you're a star who, if you play an extra 3 years, you're going to make a minimum of probably $100 million, Dan. If you can add 3 years at the end of your career, you're probably going to be making 30 to 50, $60 million. And I understand that, but just say, hey, I'm trying to extend my career. Don't try to tell me it's not healthy. I've seen reports out there saying it's not healthy to play. Dude, guys have played basketball back to back their entire life.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I understand this because if you said to Larry Bird, hey, why don't you do load management? You might be able to extend your career 3 more years. Or I said that to Steve Nash. Would they do load management if they knew I got a chance to play a few more years here?
And I understand that argument. But what Michael said, man, these people only going to get to see the great ones every now and then. Like Michael Jordan, Karl Malone was only going to come to Philly one time a year. He's only going to go to New York one time a year. Magic Johnson's only coming to Philly one time a year. That's not fair. Like, yo, you got to play in New York. You got to. Can you imagine in the day if Magic Johnson had said, "Hey, we played." I'm gonna pick some crap. And okay, I shouldn't say this. I know I'm gonna get in trouble. Can you imagine if Magic Johnson said, "We played. I played in Brooklyn last night. I'm not gonna play against the Celtics the next day." Can you just think about how stupid that sounds? I played in Indiana, and I apologize to Brooklyn now. We played the Pacers last night. I'm not going to play against the Celtics tonight. Can you imagine?
Well, imagine David Stern.
Yeah, can you imagine if Larry Bird said, "Hey, we played the Clippers last night. I'm going to sit out this Lakers game tomorrow." Can you imagine how that stupid that sounds?
You won the MVP in 1993.
Yes.
If I said you could trade in the MVP, but the Suns win the championship.
Yeah, I would rather win the championship, but nobody can take away what I accomplished that year. It's interesting.
Cam Newton, the reason why I bring it up, Cam Newton said that he would rather win the NFL MVP. Like he wouldn't trade his MVP for a Super Bowl win.
Well, we all have our thing. Like I wanted to win a championship for the people of Phoenix. I've said that's my only regret, not winning the championship in Phoenix, because this is where I live. These people have always treated me amazing. Like Philly, that's no disrespect to Philly, but they've already won a championship. That's my only regret of my career is not winning a championship for the Phoenix Suns fans. But man, that year I was the best basketball player in the world. We had the best record in the world. I like these idiots. That's the one thing that annoys me about ESPN. I'm not gonna lie. They have this stupid argument every year about the MVP that Michael should have won more or LeBron should have won more. It's not who's the best player. It's the person who had the best year. It's like, because let me use an analogy. You're trying to tell me when Magic and Bird were going back and forth on MVPs, one of them was better than the other? No, it's whoever had the best regular season. But now guys like to start, like LeBron should have won. Like Derrick Rose was the best player in the world that year he won MVP. The Chicago Bulls had the best record in the Eastern Conference. The years Karl Malone won the MVP, the Utah Jazz had the best record in the NBA. Like Shaq always gets annoyed at Steve Nash. Was Steve Nash as good as Shaquille? No. But the Phoenix Suns had the best record in the NBA both years he won MVP. I don't think Steve Nash would tell you, no, I was not better than Kobe Bryant. But those 2 years I had a better regular season. It's a regular season award.
Did you think you were better than Jordan? Not having just a better year than Jordan in 93, but you were better than Jordan?
I did not realize that I was not as good as Michael Jordan until I played him in the finals. Because when I got traded to Phoenix, I told the guys, we're going to the finals and we're going to play the Bulls. That's the first thing I told them when I got traded to Phoenix. And I said, it's the only reason Michael Jordan, I felt like it was just as good. I said, the only reason he's better, he got Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Horace Grant, guys like that, Paxson, BJ. He had a hell of a team. I said, but now I got Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Ced Ceballos, Mark West. And it wasn't until after game 2 that I realized that he was better than me, because I had 50, he had 55. I told the guys, we're going to win tonight. I said, we're going to win the game tonight. And I did. I think I had 47 to be exact, but he had like 52. That was the first time. Because like, even when I played against Magic and Bird, I was like, I'm just as good as these guys. But they got James Worthy and Kareem and Bird, McHale and Parrish and Dennis Johnson. But I don't think any great player. I think Karl Malone think he's the greatest. I think Patrick Ewing. I think you can't be a great player unless you think you're better than everybody else, because you have to have supreme confidence. But like, there's a lot of guys who are delusional. They're just good, just all right, good players. They think they're better than they are. But there's no great player. There's no Hall of Fame type player who don't think he's the best player out there every night.
LeBron's not out there. You said that he's got an old guy injury.
He's just old. Everybody gets old. Yeah, he says a sciatica. You know what that means, Dan? Yeah, I know his back hurt. All old people back hurt. Dan, all old people back hurt. You can dress it up like a sciatica. You can come up with all these medical terms. LeBron is old.
Oh, you froze up again. Thank you, Charles. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Have a great one.
Okay. Not sure what the connection was on our end or on his end. Yes, Paul?
The I-Team has done a little bit of research, refreshingly, and found out there is a Zoom issue nationwide. Usually I'd like to blame someone here.
Yeah.
It appears it may be outside of our building.
A Zoomish.
Yes.
A Zoomish issue.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chuck, thank you for being patient there.